I'm Jennifer Roberts. So that would take a long time, but I'll be brief. And in public service, I have had two positions. I was on the Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners for 4 terms. I was the mayor of Charlotte for 1 term. I have also served the federal government. I was in the Foreign Service, my first job out of graduate school. I have a graduate degree in international studies, politics, and economics. And my first job was as a diplomat representing the U.S. overseas. And I had about 4 years in that before I met my husband, fell in love, and had to move to Charlotte. I have also worked as a banker and a teacher, both at the high school level and at UNC Charlotte. I taught a course on globalization and international politics. I have done a little bit of everything, but I think what that helps me do is to see the bigger picture. And what I know is that everything is connected. And so when we talk about the need for public health, we know that we all have healthcare needs, and that if we don't take care of the public, then expenses go up for all of us, and the quality of care goes down. So everything is connected. That is our community bond, whether it's local, state, or federal. And I truly believe that everyone contributes and everyone should have a voice. I think democracy is the best way to run a government, but we need to always work at it. So Willie Fleming and I have been friends for a long time, and he and I talked about it a while ago. I think I was one of the first members. And part of it is because of my international background, of having lived overseas, of having worked for the federal government as a diplomat. But also, when I was a banker, I worked in international corporate banking, and I worked with foreign-owned firms who had subsidiaries in the United States. And so I saw the economic contributions of our international community here in the Charlotte region and in North Carolina and in the country. So I think because of all those connections in my background, Willie knew I would be a good partner to help get things started. Well, what we see, I was just at an event actually on Saturday. The international community has a summer camp for children who wouldn't necessarily have access to tennis lessons or swim lessons or whatever. And so I went to speak to the group. They were learning tennis from all volunteers, volunteer folks from the community. Willie was there. We had a judge come. I spoke to the kids about how you shouldn't bully people and how you need to recognize your own talents and work hard in school, and also keep fit, exercise. But that's just one of the things that the international minority community supports. They clearly support international businesses. They had a big gala where they invited elected officials to meet the people from these international communities and understand their contributions and their role in the community. I went to speak at the Liberian community has their annual festival. And I went to speak to them and met a lot of their leaders and recognized that they're in education and engineering and communications and all the different parts of our economy. One of the reasons the U.S. is as strong as we are is that we welcome people from other countries. We welcome diversity. We welcome talent. We welcome people who are committed to the community. And that is something that I feel very strongly. We're in the South of the United States. It is that front porch, sweet tea culture where we want people to come here. We want them to thrive. We want them to be part of the community. And I think that the International Minority Coalition has given folks from other countries a place to feel accepted, to feel welcome, to feel like they have that voice, and to spend time with others, including elected officials who are making decisions that impact their lives. When you come from another country, even once you become a citizen, you can vote. But it's a complicated system in the U.S., local, state, federal government, and it's different from your home country. And so we want people to have access to those who are making their decisions in a way that they wouldn't normally have access because they haven't grown up in the system. Helping people feel that they are valued, that they are part of the community, that their democratic vote matters. Also, bringing elected officials to IMC events so that the people have a chance to talk directly to their representatives and therefore get a lot of their issues heard, get their stories told. so that somebody who's making a decision, whether it's in Charlotte or Raleigh or Washington, they've heard the story of how does this decision impact this small business that's owned by somebody who grew up in Mexico or who grew up in Congo. How is that going to impact them? And then how does that fit in the legislation that they're trying to bring forward? So I truly believe that IMC can be that pathway. And we want to grow membership. We want more communities to feel part of it. I know that some of our high schools have like over 100 languages spoken. Independence High School, I'm thinking of in particular. We've got people from all over the world here. We should embrace that. We should celebrate that. And I want the IMC to continue to do that for all of our minorities, whether they're from Africa or Asia or Latin America, Europe. They're here. This is their home.